bores the shit out of me. It's a rubbish fight. I hate it. PBC, boo.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Boxing 365. We are going through our next card in the deck, and this is over in the States. We've got Isaac Cruz, Lamont Roach. It's PBC Premier Boxing Champion. It's going to be at the Frost Bank Center in Texas, and it will be available to buy on Amazon, which we've now started to see a bit more of, which we didn't see before.
Yeah, so
But yeah.
PBC have moved over to the Amazon platform. I think they've just sort of Amazon are dipping their toe in the water, aren't they? Try and see maybe if there's a market there for them, which they did with they've done with the Champions League and the Premier League on a couple of occasions, haven't they?
They've definitely done it with the Champions League. I think they do have the odd Premier League game on there.
Yeah, they do. But anyway, back to the boxing.
Yeah.
First fight.
It's an impressive card, actually, I think.
I completely agree.
Yeah, it is an impressive card. We'll start at the top, though. Isaac Cruz and Lamont Roach.
Nightmare this for Lamont, I think.
You think?
I think so. I like Lamont. I like Cruz. I like both of them. It's going to be an entertaining fight. WBC interim super lightweight.
Yep, that's correct.
Lamont Roach did himself absolutely the world of good in where I thought, and I think everyone did, is that he got robbed against Gervonta Davis. Gervonta took a knee.
That was bizarre, wasn't it?
It's one of the oddest things I've ever seen in boxing. He clearly took a knee off of his own choice, and the referee said he didn't take a knee. It was bizarre. Irrelevant of why he took a knee.
Yeah.
If a boxer takes a knee, he takes a knee.
Yeah.
There was no low blow. There was no.
It was the stuff in his eye, wasn't it?
No, that's what he said. I've got product in my eye. Like, mate, grow up.
Mm.
Okay, it got hurt. It is what it is. Fighters get hurt. It's the fight game. Lamont Roach got cheated out of a win there. My worry on this one is he's going in against a fighter who will stand and trade with him, which he proved against Gervonta he can do. But this is another weight class up. This is his third fight at a different weight class each time, and I just worry that as his power wanes, as he starts to fight these naturally bigger guys, and we know what Isaac Cruz brings to the table, I just think stylistically it's gonna be a really tough night's work for Lamont.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like you say, you've got Lamont Roach who's had that. Well, it probably was a bit of a robbery, as you would call it, and you've got Pitbull Cruz who is just going to be tough. So it's sort of like you say, I think it's a bad fight to have if you're Lamont Roach.
I would say so, because you're not. It's not like you're stepping up to win a legitimate world title. You're stepping up for the interim, which again, I'm not disputing. I'd love to win an interim title, but you're not rolling the dice for a really big fight. Cruz,
No.
it's. I just think if he goes and loses this, everyone forgets about the Gervonta Davis result, and that's it. I mean, the realism of it is we don't know if Roach will get that rematch anyway, because obviously Gervonta's got a few questionable things going on in his personal life. I just worry that you look at the styles of the two fighters. Roach isn't notoriously the biggest puncher, but as he proved against Gervonta, he will stand there and trade if he needs to. He's going to need to with Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz is big, he's heavy, he's probably not a singular one-punch knockout artist like a Gervonta Davis, but he's just constantly head on your chest, trying to stay sort of just out of that pocket, trying to stay out of the way of the uppercuts from Lamont, and I just think he's gonna. I worry he'll stop Roach, if I'm honest. Sorry to ruin the end of the video where I do predictions, but
he's a big hitter. It's 18 knockouts in his 28 fights. His 28 wins, sorry. So it's definitely on the cards. Stopped Rolly Romero as well.
He did for the WBA belt, the WBA strap. And Rolly has proven again and again, world operator in his own right.
Yeah.
Is he at the elite level of the sport? No. And I think that division is one of those divisions we've discussed before. There are a couple of fights in there that you kind of think, maybe, and I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to sort of piss on his strawberries with regards to Isaac Cruz. At the same time, I don't want to piss on the strawberries of Lamont Roach. This is a really really good fight, and it will be entertaining.
It's a high level
It's a
fight.
very high level fight,
Very
and
high.
it will be entertaining, and the clash of styles will make it entertaining from a casual point of view. And for Isaac Cruz, I think it makes perfect sense. My main concern, I think the point I'm trying to get to is that for me, Lamont Roach had a really awful result against Gervonta. I appreciate that fight can't happen. He needs to move on with his career. And I'm not saying you should sort of cherry pick your opponents. I just think coming off of that result, there was better opponents to pick. But if he goes out there and proves me wrong, and he stops Isaac Cruz,
could be one of those steps that turns out to have been
a
stroke of genius.
Like we spoke about the other day with regards to Fraser Clark losing to Fabio Wardley. Obviously, different scenario, but the point is that what sometimes seems like a bad decision doesn't always necessarily sort of pan out that way. So
yeah,
but yeah, no, it's an interesting one. Both guys trained by their dads, I think. Is that right? If I made that up.
You might have made that up. You might well have made that up.
No, I haven't. I can see it on the magical screen of information.
Okay, in that case, you haven't made it up.
See? It's on the magic screen of information. I haven't made it up. For everybody wondering if Tom makes things up.
You do make things up, but just apparently not about this. Right.
Next fight. Isaac Cruz, Lamont Roach bores the shit out of me. It's a rubbish fight. I hate it. PBC. Boo. Do you know what I was upset about?
That does seem unfair.
It was unfair. Do you know what I would argue? And I get it from a promotional point of view, but it does annoy me. There's a couple of things, and I'll bring them up as we go. Is that I don't think that fight should be main event.
Probably the next one should be.
I completely agree. Anyway, next fight, which is
the next one. Actually, no, not with this one being on the card. This one would have to be top for me.
But this fight is the main event for me, and it's the one I'm most excited about, and it's the one that asks the most questions, and it's the one we've got the most to talk about. Sorry,
that is Lara and Lara Alimkhanuly.
That was a great effort on pronunciation.
Thank you very much. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Move on from it now.
We can move on from it. Yeah, great fight. Great fight. I mean, you've got
many middleweight titles.
Yeah, so we've got the WBO, the WBA, and the IBF unification clash, two of which are held by Janabek, one of which is held by, I'd argue, still one of the most underrated fighters in the sport. He's 42 now, Erislandy Lara. He's one of the most naturally skilled boxers we've got in the sport still to this date. And he just, other than that Canelo fight, which he lost, he just never seems to be in big fights. I think his last fight out was against Danny Jacobs. Have I got that right? Or is that wrong? Might have that wrong. That is wrong. Who did he last defend his title against? You've got the information. Who did he last defend his title against?
He had 4 stoppages.
Yeah, 4.
His last 6 fights on the bounce.
Yeah.
And the last 4 stoppages, Gary O'Sullivan.
Yeah.
Michael Zarafa.
Yeah.
That's it. It was Danny Garcia.
Danny Garcia. I knew it was a fighter that was past his best. I apologise to Daniel Jacobs, who does come up on the card later. But with Danny Garcia, he fought a well past his best Danny Garcia in a fight that probably shouldn't have happened, really. That middleweight division just a bit of a stinker at the minute, isn't it?
What do you mean? What, at the top?
Yeah, I think I don't know,
like throughout.
No, at the very, very top, at the elite level. Like, I like Lara and I like Janabek. I think this is an absolute banger. I'm probably contradicting myself a little bit here. I think this is an absolute incredible fight. You've got a clash of styles. You've got the pure boxer in Erislandy Lara, who is phenomenal. Previous former, however you want to word it, Cuban captain, Olympian, world champion, gold medalist in the amateurs, 2-weight world champion. Like, the guy's phenomenal. What I mean by that, it's a weak division, is he's referring to the names. There isn't Terence Crawford. Apparently, he's going to drop down to 160 and pick up a belt at 160, which makes a lot of sense. So whoever wins this could arguably fight a Terence Crawford if that fight comes available. But the winner of this, and I think this will make my point actually. The winner of this fight, to become an undisputed middleweight champion, the fight will be the winner versus Carlos Adames.
Yeah,
Now, does that somewhat make a bit of sense? Or no?
So it sort of does, yeah. It sort of does.
I just think
What you're saying is Janabek versus Carlos Adames for the undisputed middleweight titles isn't that appealing.
It's not a fight that Turki Al-Sheikh will put on. And if he does, it will be in the middle of a card, which will be one of them ones that we go, how is this not a main event? Because it is a massive fight. I just think Janabek's not been particularly promoted very well, in my opinion. Janabek is one of the best pound-for-pound fighters on the planet in regards to skill set. Not been promoted correctly, heavily avoided. And yes, he's in a unification clash, which on paper is massive, but he's not a superstar. And no one in that middleweight division. Carlos Adames' last fight was the draw with Hamza Shiraz.
Yeah.
He's a WBC middleweight champion. There's two more exciting fighters on this card in a fight that would cause all of the middleweight champions headaches, apart from Janabek if he was promoted correctly. But we can come to that in a bit. The middleweight division needs a superstar, is what I'm trying to get to, I think, in somewhere in a roundabout way.
Okay. Anybody in mind? Or not particularly?
Biased glasses off? Because if I was going to pick just a future superstar, I mean, there are names coming through that I think have the potential, but I think they'll move. I think they'll move divisions. I think Janabek will move up. I don't know if he'll chase undisputed. I think he'll move up. Coming through from a young fighter's perspective, you've got Brits. You've obviously got George Liddard, who we think exceptionally highly of.
Yep.
You've got Aaron McKenna over in Ireland, who I think's talented. I think he could be very, very good. Apologies that this list may be a bit Brit biased on an American list of boxing, but we are in Britain. You've then got fighters over at the 154-pound division, which is heavily stacked in America. You look at your likes of Jerome Boots Ennis, who they've said already that will be looking to go through the weight classes. He's a superstar already. You know, if he went into the middleweight division, he's that sort of fighter that, wow, there's talks that Errol Spence could be coming back, and if he comes back, it'll be at 160. Errol Spence is a huge, huge name, which, you know, you've then got Virgil Ortiz Jr., massive puncher, still not proven himself against the elite yet, but he's there. I just think it's that weight division. There's a couple of them, and it always happens, but that weight division at the minute, you've got some superstars in the 168, and you've got some superstars in 154, but no one sort of living in that 160 area, and I just think it's a bit of a shame. Conor Benn could reinflate himself again and stay there if he fancied. Chris Eubank seems to be in good shape. He could.
What, to fire 160 again?
No, I think
that was a joke.
It was a joke. Yeah, my point on this hasn't been very structured, but my point is that this is an amazing.
A lot more from the middleweights is what you're saying.
It's one of them divisions. You look over the years at some of the superstars that have lived in that division, and there isn't any at the minute. Carlos Adames is not going to be a superstar. Erislandy Lara is already running away from Father Time as best he can. Janabek could be a superstar if promoted correctly, but there are issues. So language barrier always ruins. You know, look at Canelo. Look how big he got when he learned to speak English. It was huge.
To a certain extent, yeah.
But anyway, shall we talk about the actual fact that it's a boxing fight and not the fact that I hate the 160-pound division unnecessarily for some reason?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, I think you pretty much said it already. Two excellent fighters in what probably should be top of the bill. I think it's probably going to be Janabek that comes out of this the winner. If I had to take my position early,
I'd be leaning that way. From a ring IQ point of view, the way he fights is phenomenal. He fights at angles, very good defensively. He's got a very, very cute jab that he doesn't necessarily use more of a rangefinder, more of a. I was watching him earlier, and he uses it very similar to like your Usyks and your Lomachenko's, where it's used to keep his opponent thinking. It's used as sort of a what was the term?
I can't attack. I'm defending.
What was the term I was using earlier?
Disrupting.
Disrupting is an amazing term. I think that is actually what I wrote. But he's brilliant, and I think if Lara has aged since his last fight, which was a while ago, the realism of it is that if he's not quick enough to get on the inside and try and move around Janabek, he's going to struggle. And at some point, it's going to be one of them with Lara where I think he'll age overnight. I think he'll walk into the ring one day and it'll be,
Yeah.
it's not there anymore.
Yeah, maybe, but hopefully not anytime soon.
No.
Right. Okay. We'll move on through to the next fight.
Yes.
Which again is another one that I would have top of the bill before top of the bill. Which is Stephen Fulton and O'Shaquie Foster, super featherweight WBC world title.
So you've got 2 WBC featherweight champions technically. So you've got the WBC featherweight champion, and you've got the WBC super featherweight champion. And now the A side of the fight is the featherweight champion in Stephen Fulton Jr.
Yep.
The
Crazy.
B side is the actual champion for the belt they're fighting for, which is O'Shaquie Foster. Interesting.
Interesting. It was supposed to happen a month ago, a couple of months ago.
October. I think, yeah. It'll have been a month ago as we're recording, but yeah, it's like October 30th, something stupid.
I can't remember.
We have originally recorded this before.
Yeah, because we recorded it, but then it didn't happen because of other injuries on the card.
Heath Thurman and Fundora were meant to be headlining originally, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good fight, this. I'm going to give the respect to the champion. I think we should discuss Shaq first.
Okay, by all means.
So, good fighter, underrated, I think. I was reading something earlier about his trainer, and apologies again, his name, is it Benson or something?
Bobby Benton.
Bobby Benton. And he's been quite aggressive in the public eye when arguing the case for Shaq because he's not the most naturally talented. He's not this. He hasn't got the potential, and he's always stood by him and argued his case since taking his corner in I think 2018. And I think, at what point in the boxing media, the official boxing media, not me and you, have they gone, he's not good enough? I mean, he's a 2-time super featherweight WBC world champion. He's beaten Robson Conceição twice because the first fight he won, in my opinion. Who's bear in mind an Olympic medalist. He's beat Ray Vargas. He's beat many other names in and around that division. I think he beat Mickey Bay for the first title he won, I think, or something like that. I just think it's disrespectful. However, even though I do think it's disrespectful, I think he's very, very good. I'm going to have to contradict myself slightly.
I think he's going to lose.
I think Stephen Fulton Jr. is going to beat him. You agree with me, don't you?
I think so. I think it doesn't help that Fulton's coming up from weights where he was dominant except for in one occasion.
Where he lost to that.
We'll let him off with that, where he lost to Inoue. But he's got back to winning ways since then. And you sort of think because of his because of the fights he's had down there, because of the wins he had, I don't know. For some reason, I just fancy him over Foster in this one.
I'll tell you where I think the fight gets won and lost here. Shaq's good, and I think he's a lot better than people give him credit for, and I'm not going to continue to live and breathe that by any stretch of the imagination. Stephen Fulton is the more naturally gifted of the two. Coming up a lower weight class, yes, you've then got the size advantage, but Shaq's not massive. He's a natural career super featherweight. Never shown any real indication in wanting to move up. Not particularly a puncher. Probably understands that if he starts to go up in weight, that you're going to lose that little bit of power. Fulton, I think his size on this one will actually be an advantage to him. I think he'll be too quick. He fights at pivots. He's a fantastic counter puncher, in and out of range phenomenally. And I'll be honest, I think he'll be too much. I don't think Shaq will be able to get his jab going. Don't think he'll be able to find any real range, at least early in the fight. And I think it'll be one of those where, when you see a fighter pick up them early rounds, and before you know it, you're 6-7 rounds down, and you find yourself chasing a fight. Shaq was in a similar position when he fought Eduardo Rocky Hernandez, who he ended up stopping. And Rocky Hernandez, all he had to do in that 12th round when he fought of Shaki Foster was hold. If he held him, if he'd held on for that round, and he could have lost it at 10-7, it wouldn't have mattered. He'd have won the fight.
Yeah.
But he didn't, and that's because Shaq found himself chasing, and I think this is going to be a similar thing. I just think Fulton, yes, has lost to Inoue, however we want to pronounce his name, but I don't think that's any blemish on his record when you consider the level that Inoue operates at. I think Fulton's phenomenal. I think he's absolutely brilliant. I expect him to win this fight. I hate to say it, but I expect him to win it quite comfortably.
Mm.
And then I'd be curious to see which WBC featherweight belt he decides to defend, because he's going to have to vacate one of them.
Mm.
The WBC aren't going to let him keep both.
What do you think he'll do?
I think it depends on how the fight goes. I don't think he's going to struggle to make weight. Fulton's only small.
If he feels as though there's more to be had at super feather, probably stay there. If he thinks that was a bit hard going, he'll go back down. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, for me, I think because of the type of fighter he is, this will make Fulton a 3-weight world champion.
Mm.
The Sugar Nunes Emmanuel Navarrete fight is coming up in February on the Matchroom bill.
Yep.
That's the unified super featherweight championships. For me, Fulton is a legacy chaser. He wants them big fights.
Wait for that.
If he makes the weight and he thinks, you know what, I don't feel too small in here against a natural super feather like Foster, I perceive he will stick about. I can't see him going up much further though.
No, he's not a big
He's not.
guy.
Let's be honest. I mean, his next step's lightweight.
No.
There's some big lightweights. Like I'd worry then at that point. I mean, you looked at him against Inoue, which was at featherweight, I believe. Might have even been at super bantam, but I think it was featherweight. But he's not big. He's not a big guy. He's not naturally. You don't look
That
at him
would
when
have
he.
been at super bantam, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was distracted thinking about that then. But
But
yes,
like when you watch him get in the ring, you look at some fighters and go, God, they filled out.
Yeah.
He's not one of them guys.
No.
And I just think to myself, if even if he goes in there and somehow does like a 3-round demolition on Foster, I just don't perceive him climbing any higher through the rankings in regard any
Through the weight
higher
classes.
through the weight classes for me.
Yeah.
But that's where I'd like to see the winner go next. Whoever wins, by the way, not just Stephen Fulton. If I'd like to see,
I think we've probably fell victim to exactly what you were talking about, where his coach is aggressively defending him.
Yeah.
Because he's proven himself plenty of times, and we've sort of just gone, yeah, well, Stephen Fulton's really good. So's Shaki Foster.
Yeah.
So, but we kind of just fell into that there, didn't we?
It's not so. I guess with Shaq it's that he enters the fight as an underdog every time he fights, and that's okay. By the way, there's no shame in entering as an underdog. I just really like if it was any other, even if you put Shaq in against the Navarrete, for example, because of the style of fighter and this is nothing against Nunes, by the way, it's just using him as an example. If you put him in there against Navarrete, I'm a huge admirer of Navarrete, and he's the biggest name in that weight class for me. I would give Shaq a better chance because stylistically, Navarrete will come forward. He's high pressure. He'll throw a lot of punches and he'll give Foster opportunities to counter and get involved. Whereas for me, with fucking hell, my brain, it's been a really, really long day. I do apologize. With Junior, you're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that come forward style where he's gonna want to stand in front of you and trade. He's gonna be out of the way. He's gonna be hard to hit, and I just think that for me is where, unfortunately, this fight's gonna be won and lost. Same with Sugar Nunes. It'd be a similar sort of style. I'd give Foster a better chance in that fight stylistically.
Fair enough.
So yeah, if Shaq wins, by the way, I'm not going to be like, God, I don't saw that coming.
No,
because he's world class.
Yeah,
he is. He's at the absolute. He's a bit like Carlos Adames at middleweight.
Yeah, he's a world champion, but you're a bit like,
yeah, he's very good, and he beats anyone that isn't world class.
Yeah,
but he's the elite. Stephen Fulton, for me, this makes him a 3-weight world champion if he wins. And for me, he has got the skill set to be an elite of the sport.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's a fair enough assessment,
yeah.
I think.
I actually think out of the whole show so far, that is the most constructive and logical I've been throughout. The rest of it, I feel like I've just been rambling about stuff.
No, I don't think you've been rambling, but that was definitely,
Well,
that's a fair thing to say, I think.
thank
I
you.
think that was accurate.
Next.
Right.
It's becoming a regular thing. I need to stop doing that.
Yeah, please do. 'Cause
Okay.
you know how loud that's going to be for everybody who's listening.
Sorry.
They're all going to be deafened by you.
I'm loud. Right.
Ramos Jr., Shane Mosley Jr. next.
This won't take much covering.
No?
Nope.
Okay. Away you go then.
Oh, do you want me to just run through it?
Well, you said
So
it's not
we've
going to take
got
much covering.
a relative. We've got two fighters with two famous relatives. One far more famous than the other. You've got Jesus Ramos Jr., who is the nephew of still, I think, current fighter Abel Ramos. And then you've got Shane Mosley Jr., who is, if anyone guessed it, he's the son of Hall of Fame legendary Sugar Shane Mosley, non-junior, senior, I guess now. Shane Mosley Jr. has never, unfortunately, this is where Daniel Jacobs comes in. He's never beaten anybody at world level in their prime. He beat a very, 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 very old and visibly old Danny Jacobs. On his day, he's good. He's got everything you'd expect from the son of a former world champion, a multi-weight world champion, and that is that he's got good fundamentals. He's got a decent jab. He's strong. He's relatively well disciplined, and that's your lot. When he takes the sport seriously, he's a handful. The problem is, and I think we mentioned this when we did the first recording, is I've got no fucking idea which Shane Mosley Jr. is going to turn up.
Yeah.
Because he's good enough that he beat a good Gabe Rosado.
Yeah.
And we've always said, if you're not good,
you will lose to Gabe Rosado.
You will lose to Gabe Rosado. He didn't. The problem is, whenever he has stepped up to fight fighters such as Jason Quigley, who is, again, a good fighter, not a great fighter, he has lost. Jesus Ramos has lost one fight, which I don't think he lost, but he lost it on paper. And I perceive that the constant pressure of Southpaw Ramos will be one step too far for Shane Mosley Jr., and that's okay. And that is all I have to say, unless I've missed anything.
That was pretty good, actually. I think that you covered a lot off, to be honest with you. Right. Guess that is that. I mean, this is our middleweight division that we've been talking about.
This is for the interim title again, by the way.
Well, this is what I was going to say, is that this is for Carlos Adames' interim title.
I mean, not that it's a fight that gets me aroused, but
just out of bed. You know?
I know I was thinking about the right term, but
and then you just thought you'd say
aroused.
Erect.
Yeah, I didn't say erect.
Brilliant.
Ramos Jr. realistically isn't a middleweight, so it's going to be interesting to see how his power comes up into this weight class.
Yeah.
Obviously been a horrifically heavy-handed puncher down in the lower weight classes. It'll be interesting to see how this one carries. I perceive it being a stoppage job. I see it being a bit of a demolition job. I'm thinking early as well. And then he'll probably want to push on and fight someone like Carlos Adames. Now he'll be in that mandatory position.
Or one of our fighters further up the bill.
Yeah, maybe. And I think, I'll be honest, I don't think Ramos is the guy to be that superstar at 160.
No.
They're all good fights, and I'd watch them all. Any one of them.
Yeah.
Any one of them. But we need an undisputed champion at middleweight, because I think that then gives out of the four, if you made me pick, I'd pick Janabek. But out of the three of the current champions plus whoever wins this one, as part of that mandatory selection, whoever goes in, I think, unifies the whole division, gives them a real opportunity to be that superstar.
Yeah.
But we need that, and hopefully this is sort of the early stages of creating that superstar.
Yeah.
If not, then I'll put some gloves on and I'll be a character, if nothing else.
You would be a character, that is true.
I'd be a character. I'd talk my way into a world title fight, get stopped in half a second by anyone at all.
Yeah.
I think I could do what Jake Paul does.
Yes. Do you really?
I'd beat Jake Paul.
I think you'd beat him off. I think that's about all you could do, mate.
It's weird, isn't it?
Right.
Listen, how have you been? Anyway, we've got one more fight to mention, and it is another quick mention.
Yep. Frank Martin.
I'm gonna let you talk through it.
Rancis.
That's his name.
Rancis.
Yeah, honestly, that's his real name.
Okay.
I fact checked it.
Rancid Barthelemy. He's up next.
You're gonna fucking cry in a minute.
Why?
He's a former 2-weight world champion. He's very good.
I just called him rancid. What's
Don't
wrong?
call him
What's
rancid.
wrong with that?
Listen, all right? There'll be no beating off in here. There'll be beating up, no beating off. So, let's talk about rancid Barthelemy.
Okay, we'll start with rancid Barthelemy.
Yeah.
He's 33-1, 15 knockouts. He's a super lightweight, and he's a former 2-weight world champion
He is.
at super feather and lightweight.
Correct.
But he is now 39.
He is.
He's getting on a bit.
He is.
Getting on
Also correct.
He's he's impressive.
He is.
Is that what you wanted me to? Are you happy now?
No. What I wanted you to say was that yes, he's impressive or was impressive, but his last meaningful win of any real where you go, okay, was 2016.
Yeah, that's
a bit ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2016, Mickey Bay.
Mickey Bay. I keep getting all the names right. Just in the wrong order. God, I'm rubbish.
However, it's been 18 months since he fought as well.
He did, where he beat
Lost.
to
Jose Ramirez.
Yeah.
And then his fight prior to that.
Yeah.
His last win.
Yeah.
Was 2.5 years ago.
Who was that again? Someone good, right? Someone notable. Like, wait, let me guess. What we at here? So this is super lightweight. Teofimo Lopez, he beat him.
No, he didn't.
Did he not? Right, okay.
No,
Who did he?
It was Omar Juarez.
Homer? Omar Juarez. Okay. So I'm assuming, yeah. So what okay. Okay.
An amazing amateur background.
No, he has.
200 fight amateur background.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I suppose there does come a point where age creeps up on you.
All the time, innit?
Yeah, that's probably the position he's in. But he's got to fight Frank Martin, 18-1, 12 knockouts.
I like
He's
Frank
a southpaw. His last fight was in 2024 where he lost to Tank Davis.
No shame in that. Frank Martin is actually, just to kind of quickly give everyone a bit of a covering for anyone that doesn't know him. I don't know him.
Not personally.
No. Frank Martin, give him a watch. Like he's one of the, from a boxing purist point of view, absolutely phenomenal. His footwork's brilliant. He's got, again, similar to Janabek in regards that he's got a really clever, disturbing type jab. Brilliant fighter, brilliant. Defensively, absolutely phenomenal. Got a lot of similar traits to someone like a Sonny Edwards in regards to, you don't see many fighters that are that good going backwards. I think this is clever matchmaking. I think you've got a former 2-weight world champion who's not collected that many losses really in the grand scheme of things. He's been out for 18 months. He needs to put himself in a decent position. A win here would probably still be Frank Martin's best win of his career, which is mind-blowing. But again, that comes through.
But I suppose you could still, the history of your fighter and
100%.
that sort of still carries through, doesn't it, regardless of where they are.
Yeah. And Frank Martin has got a huge, he's the only fighter, fun fact, it's not that fun, is the only fighter that I've ever bet to beat Gervonta Davis.
Really?
Yeah, I had him on.
Oh. How sad were you when you lost your bet?
Not that sad, because I lose a lot of bets, which is why I don't have a betting channel.
Which is why you live in this shed.
I do, yeah. Everyone doesn't see it, but actually behind this this light and the camera, there's a stool that I live on. So let's get to the predominant, the proverbial.
That was a new word from you. I think it was a new word. Full stop.
Well, I said, didn't I, that I wanted to try and be more eloquent with my choice of words. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've stopped saying things without thinking as much.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like earlier, like I'll say, so, and then I'll go like into like thinking mode, not say anything, and then I'll say something. And I've actually found that I think, personally, it's an improvement.
It's definitely not worse, I would say. It definitely isn't worse.
Well, no, I guess not. What do the people want? They want me to be less or more impulsive? Because I've still not worked out the character I play in life yet. Some days I think I'm the pantomime villain. Oh, everyone, if you're wondering what's happening, this is what happens when Dan doesn't have an update.
I've powered down. I would not. It's because I know we're not at this part yet. I was just looking at what ChatGPT is going to predict, and it has. This is a bad one. It has said, "I'm sorry, I can't reliably predict all the results of a result. Here's why, and what I can help with." And it says why I can't predict the results. Listen, mate. I didn't ask why you can't predict the results. I asked you to predict the results.
Does this mean I get a free win?
These back chatty robots, mate. I said.
While Dan argues with while Dan argues with iRobot, couple of things I would like to quickly give everyone a shout. We continue to appreciate your engagement. I've learned recently that I'm not allowed to consistently lie about who we're sponsored by, because otherwise I'd just be sponsored by whatever I'm wearing. So like today we're sponsored by Timberland boots. Not allowed to say that anymore. What else has happened recently? The MGM Bland is having a minor technical issue with the roof. So if anyone does know a builder / shed builder / roof fixer, give us a shout. And that's has he predicted them?
Not really, but we'll get round to that in a minute. First, I need to hear what you think the results are going to be. So,
okay, sorry, I was talking to the folks at home.
Did you ask them to subscribe?
No, talked to them about the roof. Asked them about if they know any builders.
God's sake! Please make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to go and check us out on TikTok as well and Instagram.
We should really say that at the start of the video.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
What are we talking about?
You're going to predict for me the winners. So,
Isaac Cruz stoppage.
Isaac Cruz stoppage. Lara and Janabek.
Janabek points.
Fulton and Foster.
Fulton points.
Ramos Jr. Mosley Jr.
Ramos Jr. early stoppage. Frank Martin points.
That was rapid.
Thanks.
I like that.
It was the quickest.
It's clearly because you've taken some extra time to think about that.
I have like while I was talking to the folks at home.
I like it. What's going to be the best fight?
Oh, now that actually is a really difficult question. Thinking about it, because I'm going to pick what I'm looking forward to the most, because I don't care what everyone at home thinks. Stephen Fulton Jr. for me versus Shaq. I'm really excited for that one. I'm excited to see how Shaq adapts. I'm really excited to see how Fulton adapts to the weight. And I think from a boxing point of view, I think it's going to be phenomenal. And me and you both really appreciate a fighter that pivots. There's something about it. If I could pivot, I'd just pivot to the shop all the time. So that's the fight I'm most excited for.
Right. What's going to be the most likely upset? A and B side.
I'm going to go with.
Janabek is the B side.
He is. I don't want to pick that though. Sounds like a cop out. It is unification though, but it is a B side. But that is a cop out, and everyone will tell me it's a cop out. I'm going to go for the most likely upset, in my opinion. I'm going to go for Bart to beat the Ghost, Frank Martin.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you an explanation.
He just winds back the clock and wins. I like it.
And it's going to wind back the clock. Age is going to become irrelevant. Martin is going to have taken too much damage from the Gervonta fight. Psychologically, is a joke, and that's it.
You know, when you said you weren't going to explain it, you made me happy, and then you went on and explained it, and now I want to throat punch you.
Today's video is sponsored by Johnson's House Flea Spray. It's not.
Card rating.
Oh,
out of 10.
Good card. Great card.
Mm-hmm.
God, them top 5 are mad. It might be a back-to-back, you know. It might be a 10. It's phenomenal, isn't it?
Come on.
10.
10.
10. It's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. If I could fly to San Antonio, Texas to watch this, I would. But you said that apparently we don't make any money, so we're not allowed.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to donate, we do have a GoFundMe page.
Right. So it's a 10 out of 10. Rate the Robot's going to be nice and quick.
Because Rate the Robot.
An absolute shithead.
What's it said?
Isaac Cruz will win mid to late stoppage or unanimous decision.
Fucking
useless.
Pop out.
And do you know what it said for the rest?
Go on.
Assuming a standard undercard structure, a few rising pros and versus journeymen, maybe a contender versus a gatekeeper, I'd expect the majority of the fights will go to decision. A few may end in early TKOs. Well, great. What does that do for me? Listen, the robot has failed.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this gives us an opportunity to close the gap on the AI.
Yeah, you know what?
I, knowing me, and you knowing me, and you lot starting to know me, will know by knowing me I'm probably going to get all of them wrong.
Probably. But look, that is everything that we need to cover for this episode of the next card in the deck. It's done. It's a monster, by the way. Apologies. It's closing in on 45 minutes long.
Can you actually, honestly, before I know we've already eaten the time at this point, can you let us know in the comments whether you want us to go on longer rants, which is hard to believe, or whether you want us to try and trim it down a little bit? We're always conscious that we want to give as much value to you guys as possible, which comes in form of detail, additional research our end, which we do occasionally get wrong, like the non-amateur background Bobby Dalton comment, which I've apologised. Guy never fucking replied.
It's because you weren't rowing War and Peace when all he wanted to do was make us look like a mug.
Yeah, it didn't work though, did it? Because who looks like the mug now? Bobby Dalton fanboy. But genuinely, let us know whether you want long, short, whether you like us engaging back with you guys. If you want us to stop replying to your comments, just piss off.
Great. Right. We will see you on the next episode.
Thanks, guys.